Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Now today is another video in my fourth finger series where I have been looking at some of the questions in the comments, and a lot of you are asking questions about the fourth finger as you're having a lot of difficulties with them. So this is the second video that I'm doing on the fourth finger series. I will link the first one directly underneath this video. But before we go any further, for those of you that don't know, I just wanted to quickly tell you about my 1 to 30 violin course, which is perfect for teaching you how to play the violin. So this 1 to 30 violin course that I've got behind me consists of 30 lessons and 5 books. And what my online course will do is take you from an absolute complete beginner on the violin, so you know nothing about music, violin, absolutely nothing. And my course will guaranteed to take you to a decent, accomplished intermediate player just with these 30 lessons. So these lessons aim to teach and give you the skills, the information and the knowledge needed to be able to go off and learn and play any piece by yourself. There's no learning by rote or anything like that. I am a true believer in learning the classical way. So I am a classically trained musician and I teach very classically as well, and my ethos is to give my students the information, skills and the knowledge they need to be able to go out in the world and do whatever it is they want. So if I'm giving you out that information, you can then assimilate that information yourself, all in the comfort of your own home. You will be able to pick up any piece of sheet music you like and work it out and be able to play it with all the information given to you in this course. As I said, the course is 30 lessons. It consists of 5 books and everything is downloadable from my shop. There is nothing physical to ship out. These are just books that I have printed out from my printer at home, and then I've just bound them together myself, but everything is downloadable. So the second you have paid, you will then get a link that you can download the books and you can look at it on your tablet, your computer, your laptop. You can print them out, you can have them professionally printed, whatever you feel you want to do. But as soon as you've paid, you can literally be starting your journey to playing the violin. So I just want to go through just a couple of hints and tips on the fourth finger. Really, it isn't really complicated. I don't really know why people don't like it as such. I think it is just because it is an awkward it is an awkward finger. So you have tendons in your fingers, and your index and your kind of middle finger and your thumb are kind of for gripping, for kind of picking things up. The little finger and the ring finger, the pinky and the ring finger, are not really so much for doing that, but they do have tendons, but they don't really have. Technically, the hands do have muscles going to them that all go into 2 muscle bellies into the arm here, but a lot of people don't really have that ability to be able to move that finger independently from the fourth finger. Even my fourth finger wants to move a little bit, but some people don't have the ability to sort of do that, because it depends if you've got a tendon that's coming up in the webbing of your finger or not. If you've got a tendon that comes up high up into that webbing, then that's going to stop you or restrict you a little bit. So because the muscle in the hand is a set length and you can't really stretch out tendons, there is only so much you can do to help the little finger. So because it isn't a muscle, it's not like your bicep where I could spend the next 30 days picking up a 10 kilogram weight and I could be doing this, and then obviously my bicep muscle is gonna grow.
306 307.
That isn't quite the same in the hand. There are technically muscles, but mostly this bit here is a tendon that attaches to 2 belly muscles that you've got in your arm. So you can't really, as I said, you can't really train this to move. But what you can do is do certain exercises on the violin and help to train the little finger and maybe the fourth finger partially to just have a slightly better fine motor function and a little bit more skill with it. You cannot stretch a tendon, and the muscle, as I say, is a set length, so you can't do anything to that, but you can just help to improve the precision a little bit. So the first thing that you can do is really just do kind of, where's my boat? is just sort of play open A or open string and fourth finger exercises. So just something like that. So you're doing an open D, a first finger, a second finger, a third finger, a fourth finger. And then you're just alternating between 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, and then you go back down. So it's just like doing a little mini scale. There really is nothing to it. I'll do it again for you. So play your open 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just alternate between 4 and 3. And then go back down the scale. There's no set number of times you have to play 4, 3, 4, 3, just whatever you feel. And then do the same thing again on the next string. Do that a few times and then, you know, so on, so on. So you can do those kind of exercises. The key to those would be not to overwork your little finger because you can end up with tendinitis. So do not overwork that area, just enough so that you can kind of gain high motor function skills with it, but be very, very careful. Do not overwork that area because you can damage your hand quite easily. If you do already have some pre-existing hand conditions, then you may want to consult your doctor or your hand therapist to see if this is something that is kind of safe for you to do. But I'm assuming that you don't have anything wrong with your hand, obviously, and this isn't going to be a problem. But that is kind of one way to kind of help with that. So again, nothing really clever with that, but you could sort of warm up a little bit. You could do that scale on the G string 6 times. So you've done that 6 times, and then you do the same thing on the D string. 6 times, and then 6 times on the A, 6 times on the E, and then you can go back round and do that again on the G, D, A, E, and then again on. So you can do each string 6 times, and then go around and do it the whole thing 3 times in total. That kind of that kind of makes sense, and that should be plenty. That should be enough. If you feel your finger getting tired, obviously stop. But that's one exercise that you can do. The second thing that you can do is just to make sure that your left hand, this one here, is positioned round. I think a lot of people just sort of have their hand this way, so when they try and put their fourth finger down, it's nowhere near where it needs to be because it's all the way out here. Your left hand should be, if I took the violin away, this is the position of my left hand. So actually it's almost kind of the opposite to this. I've almost got my wrist bent round kind of really awkwardly, but to me, when I pick up the violin, that is just it looks really weird doing that, but that is just how I do it. When I pick it up, my hand is there. So if I had my hand here, I've got my fingers on the D string, for example. Now if I stay there, but I take the violin away, you can see this is the position that my wrist and my hand is in. So it is nearly, if I extend my fingers, it is nearly, my palm is nearly facing the other way. It's about as far round, it's about as far round as it will actually go. So make sure that your hand is round enough. It's this part here, it's this end part here where the little finger is, and the very edge of your hand, the side of your hand there, that is the part that needs to be round. The further round it is, the much easier it is for you to play. So make sure you've got your left hand positioning correct, and that you are twisting it round enough. Now you might find that quite twisted to start with. That's just probably going to be down to the fact that you're not used to it. Obviously, if you're experiencing arm pain going down here, then stop what you're doing and just kind of reassess that. But again, I'm just talking for people that don't have any kind of pre-existing arm, muscle, tendon conditions, carpal tunnel, anything like that. So make sure that your left hand is twisted round enough. If your left hand is not twisted round, your little finger physically will not reach. Especially if you're someone that's got maybe some shorter hands, or you've got a smaller little finger compared to the other fingers, for example. Everybody is different. But again, the key is just to make sure that you're twisting that little finger round so that it can reach the fourth finger on the G string, which is usually the difficult one. So that's it really. Just a couple of little kind of tips there on how to just kind of improve that fourth finger. There isn't one answer that cures all with that one. It is just a very difficult one, and I'm not going to lie, I still struggle with the fourth finger. I mean, to me, I don't really think about it anymore, and it is second nature, and it is what it is, but I don't really enjoy doing vibrato on the fourth finger, for example. I can, and I will, but I am very conscious that it is weak. So if I can move into third position or second position, or if I move into third position, for example, I'm going to be vibratoing with the second finger instead of the fourth. Obviously, I'm going to take that option because it's a lot easier. But on the occasions that I do have to do vibrato with the fourth finger, then obviously I'll suck it up and do it. But violinists are very aware that it is a weak part of the hand, and that is completely natural. You know, all these professional violinists, they don't have special hands or special little fingers. I mean, they have an insane amount of talent, and that goes without saying, but they still have the same hands and the same fingers as us, but maybe their fine motor skills are a lot more precise with their little finger. But everybody is human, and everybody is more or less built the same. So, you know, if you find it difficult, they still find it difficult, slightly less, or it doesn't bother them so much. But, you know, we all find it difficult, and we're all very conscious of it. So if we can avoid using it, then we will, because we know it is going to sound a lot better if we avoid it. But, you know, it is still something that needs to be addressed, and still something that needs to be done. And you should never be afraid of the fourth finger. If you do those little exercises, then, you know, you should be okay. But don't avoid, my number one tip would be, don't avoid the fourth finger and try and replace it with open strings, because you will never be very good at the fourth finger, and it'll be something, you'll just be kicking the ball down the road all the time. And then when you do need to use the fourth finger, it'll just be worse. Your fear of it will be worse, the sound will be worse, and you won't always get away with being able to play an open string in place of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.